Immigrate to Canada as a semi-skilled worker. Semi-skilled workers, NOC CD. Are you a semi-skilled worker looking to immigrate to Canada? As a semi-skilled worker, NOC level C, or an unskilled worker, NOC level D, your pathway to live and work in Canada will likely be as a provincial nominee. In other words, you'll have to apply through a provincial nominee program, or PNP, which are run by each province or territory. As a semi-skilled or unskilled worker, you're not eligible for Express Entry's Federal Skilled Worker FSW program, which is for skilled workers, NOC level A and B, and Type 0. As well, you're not eligible for Express Entry's Federal Skilled Trades FST stream either, since its occupations are all skill level B. The most likely route is through one of the following provinces, PNPs, since they comprise much of the economic activity in Canada and are where you'll most likely find work as a semi- or unskilled worker. As well, they are where you're more likely to find established immigrant communities that can be invaluable in helping you settle in Canada. Ontario Semi-Skilled Worker Program. The Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, OINP, has the employer job offer, in-demand skill streams, which includes various NOC C and D eligible occupations. It is for foreign workers in Ontario and abroad who can apply online and then, if successful, receive a provincial nomination and apply for permanent residence. Who is eligible for the Ontario Employer Job Offer, In-Demand Skills Stream? Both you, the applicant, and the job you're being offered in Ontario must meet certain requirements. The applicant must have at least 9 months cumulative, full-time or equivalent in part-time work experience in the same occupation as your job offer in Ontario during the 3 years prior to your application. Have any required license or other authorization required by your occupation in Ontario. Have an approved language test, IELTS or CELPIP, unless you have a French language test that shows a CLB level 4 or higher. Have a Canadian or international equivalent of a high school diploma or certificate. If your secondary education is outside Canada, you require an ECA, Educational Credential Assessment. Have the intention of living and working in Ontario after gaining your permanent residency. Have legal status in Canada, if you're applying from within Canada. In other words, have a valid temporary residence visa or similar document showing you have legal status in Canada. The job offer must be full-time and permanent, having a minimum of 1,560 hours per year, which is an equivalent to a minimum of 30 hours per week. Be in one of the following eligible occupations: NOC C or D, for jobs anywhere in Ontario, including the Greater Toronto Area, GTA. NOC 3413, nurses' aides, orderlies, and patient service associates. NOC 4412, home support workers and related occupations, excluding housekeepers. NOC 7441, residential and commercial installers and services. NOC 7511, transport truck drivers. NOC 7521, heavy equipment operators, except crane. NOC 7611, construction trades helpers and labourers. NOC 8431, general farm workers. NOC 8432, nursery and greenhouse workers. NOC 8611, harvesting labourers. NOC 9462, industrial butchers and meat cutters, poultry preparers, and related workers. Be in one of the following occupations: NOC C or D for jobs outside the GTA. NOC 9411, machine operators, mineral and metal processing. NOC 9416, metalworking and forging machine operators. NOC 9417, machining tool operators. NOC 9418, other metal products machine operators. NOC 9421, chemical plant machine operators. NOC 9422, plastics processing machine operators. NOC 9437, woodworking machine operators. NOC 9446, industrial sewing machine operators. NOC 9461, process control and machine operators, food, beverage, and associated product processing. NOC 9523, electronics assemblers, fabricators, inspectors and testers. NOC 9526, mechanical assemblers and inspectors. NOC 9536, industrial painters, coaters, and metal finishing process operators. NOC 9537, other products assemblers, finishers and inspectors. Go to canada.ca to find your NOC occupation among those listed above and see more details about your occupation and what duties, etc. it involves. Your wage for your offered job must be equal to or more than the median wage for that occupation in the region of Ontario where you'll be working. Your work in that job is necessary for your employer's business. Your work will be based primarily in Ontario. Your employer must have been in business actively for at least 3 years before hiring you. Have business premises in Ontario where you will work. Be in compliance with health and safety standards, rules, regulations, and acts in Ontario and Canada. Demonstrate a true effort was made to employ a Canadian citizen before hiring you. Have a minimum annual gross revenue of 1 million Canadian dollars if inside the GTA. Have a minimum annual gross revenue of 500,000 Canadian dollars if outside the GTA. Have at least 5 full-time employees who are Canadian citizens or permanent residents if inside the GTA. Have at least 3 full-time employees who are Canadian citizens or permanent residents if outside the GTA. Fill out an employer form which is for approval of your job, and your employer must then give you the form to scan and upload with your application. Be ready to provide documentation in support of their request to hire you. There is a checklist at Ontario's website. Pay the application fee of 1,500 Canadian dollars for jobs located outside the GTA, 2,000 Canadian dollars for jobs located inside the GTA. How do I apply for the Ontario Employer Job Offer In-Demand Skills Stream? Go to Ontario's immigration website and scroll down 3/4 of the web page until you see the blue button, Submit an Application, located just below the section on Application Instructions. Click Submit an Application. Choose Returning User or New Applicant. Choose Employer Job Offer, In-Demand Skills Stream. If you are a new applicant, you should pre-register, entering your name and date of birth. Log into your ONE-Key account or click Sign Up Now. You will be sent to the OINP e-filing portal, where you should create a profile by filling in the required information. Click Finish after you've completed your profile to be sent back to the e-filing portal's main page. Click on the file number beside Employer Job Offer, In-Demand Skills Stream to begin your application. What happens after I apply for the Ontario Employer Job Offer, In-Demand Skills Stream? You'll get a confirmation email from OINP. Use your account at the ONIP e-filing portal to track the status of your application. You can withdraw your application by logging into your account at the e-filing portal and clicking on the Withdraw button next to your file number on the main page. You can update any changes to your personal information at the e-filing port. How do I know when I've been nominated for an Ontario Employer Job Offer, In-Demand Skills Stream? If nominated, you'll receive the following in your email: a nomination approval letter, a work permit support letter, nomination certificate. You will then have 6 months to reply to the IRCC for permanent residence. Please note that a nomination does not guarantee your application for permanent residence will be successful, although the odds generally are that it will be. If you need extra time because your application for PR status to the IRCC was returned as incomplete, or it's taking a lot of time to get your supporting documents, you can request an extension to your nomination certificate. Use your work permit support letter to apply for a work permit, enabling you to work while your application for permanent residence is being processed by IRCC. Quebec. To learn more about Quebec's immigration options, please visit Immigration Quebec's website. British Columbia's Semi-Skilled Worker Programme. British Columbia's PNP, BC PNP, has the Skills Immigration SI, entry-level and semi-skilled category that's your passport to working in the province. Who is eligible for the BC Skills Immigration entry-level and semi-skills category? You must have accepted a full-time permanent job offer from a BC employer. Please note that the job must be of indeterminate length. There is no end date to your job. Have that job with a BC employer in one of the following industries in BC: tourism, hospitality, long-haul trucking, food processing. Have been working for your employer in BC a minimum of 9 consecutive months before applying for your nomination. Meet minimum language and education requirements. Be qualified for the job. Prove you'll be able to support yourself and any dependents. Have legal immigration status in Canada. Be earning a wage in line with BC wage rates. Be any NOC C or D occupation. Only if you'll be working in what is called the North East Development Region of BC. Your employer must also meet certain requirements such as having a history of good workplace and business practices, as well as things like complying with any required local labour market recruitment standards. They will also have to sign an employer declaration. Alberta Semi-Skilled Worker Immigration Programme. Unfortunately, as of June 2018, the Alberta employer-driven semi-skilled worker stream is closed. If you applied on or before June 13, 2018, go to Alberta's immigration website for information on the stream. Manitoba. The Manitoba PNP website does not list the occupations that are in high demand in Manitoba. The Manitoba PNP will consider all applicants with Manitoba work experience, but reserves the right to determine who is eligible and who is not eligible based on demand. Visit www.mbjobs.ca/ to find occupations that are in high demand in Manitoba. Saskatchewan Semi-Skilled Worker Immigration Programme. The semi-skills agricultural worker with existing work permit is the SINP, Saskatchewan Immigration Nominee Program stream, for semi-skilled workers already living and working in the province on a valid temporary work permit. If you're not currently living and working in Saskatchewan, you may apply to the Saskatchewan Semi-Skilled Agricultural Worker Program, provided that you have proof of having previously worked in Saskatchewan for at least 6 months in one of the following occupations: general farm worker, nursery and greenhouse worker. Who is eligible for the Saskatchewan Semi-Skilled Agricultural Worker with existing work permit stream? To qualify for the Semi-Skilled Agricultural Worker Program in Saskatchewan, you must have a permanent full-time job offer from a Saskatchewan employer, have the job be in either of these occupations: general farm worker, NOC 8431, Level C occupation; nursery and greenhouse worker, NOC 8432, Level C occupation. Have a valid SINP job approval letter. Have worked for more than 6 months for the employer, who has offered you the full-time job, on an IRCC valid work permit. The work permit you have been working under has to have been under one of the following programs: Seasonal Agricultural Worker Program, International Experience Canada, or Temporary Foreign Worker Program. Have completed secondary school either in Canada or, if abroad, with an ECA, Educational Credits Assessment. Have a minimum CLB, Canadian Languages benchmark, score of 4. How do I apply for the Saskatchewan Semi-Skilled Agricultural Worker with existing work permit stream? Step 1. Go to Saskatchewan's immigration website to create an online account with SINP. Step 2. Complete the sections of the online application form. Step 3. Scan and upload in PDF format all required documents. Keep the originals for your files. Step 4. First save and then submit your completed application, which should include all required documentation. Nova Scotia Semi-Skilled Worker Immigration Program. This maritime province has the following stream for semi-skilled workers: the Occupations in Demand stream, run by the province's immigration agency, Nova Scotia Immigration. Who's eligible for the Nova Scotia Occupations in Demand stream? Have a full-time permanent job offer from the Nova Scotia employer in one of the following occupations: nurses' aides, orderlies and patient services associates, NOC 3413, a Level C occupation; transport truck drivers, NOC 7511, a Level C occupation. Have at least 1 year of work experience in that occupation for which you have been offered a job. Be 21 to 55 years old. Have a high school diploma, secondary school. Have the appropriate training, skills, and/or accreditation for your occupation. Have a CLB 4 level of English or French through an official language test. Have proof you have sufficient financial resources to settle in Nova Scotia. How do I apply for the Nova Scotia Occupations in Demand stream? Step 1. Go to Nova Scotia's immigration website to start your online application. You should estimate around 60 minutes to complete the online form. Go to Nova Scotia's immigration website and download an application guide. Step 2. Once you've finished the application, print a copy for your personal records. Step 3. Attach all supporting documents. Step 4. Send the application and wait around 3 months for an answer. If you have any questions about the application process, send an email to the following address: immigration@novascotia.ca. New Brunswick. The New Brunswick PNP website does not list the occupations that there is a shortage of and/or are in high demand. The New Brunswick PNP is specifically geared towards applications with NB work experience. Most people outside of New Brunswick cannot apply, but the government reserves the right to determine who is eligible and who is not eligible, based on demand. Visit www.nbjobs.ca to find occupations that are in high demand in New Brunswick. Newfoundland and Labrador. The Newfoundland and Labrador PNP website does not list the occupations that there is a shortage of and/or are in high demand. The Newfoundland PNP will consider all applicants with work experience in the province, but reserve the right to determine who is eligible and who is not eligible based on demand. Visit www.jobsinnl.ca to find occupations that are in high demand in Newfoundland and Labrador. Prince Edward Island. Please click on the above link for options to immigrate to PEI. Northwest Territories. The Northwest Territories nominee program does not list occupations that there is a shortage of and/or in high demand. The NWT PNP will consider all applicants with work experience in the territory, but reserves the right to determine who is eligible and who is not eligible based on demand and other factors. Visit www.iti.gov.nt.ca to find jobs that are in high demand in the Northwest Territories. Nunavut. Nunavut does not currently have its own immigration program. Yukon. The Yukon nominee does not list the occupations that there is a shortage of and/or are in high demand. The YNP will consider any applicant with work experience in Yukon, but reserves the right to determine who is eligible and who is not eligible, based on demand and other factors. Visit www.employmentyukon.ca to find jobs that are in high demand in Yukon.